I'm Kyle, and I'm planning on starting to vlog on my motorcycle. Oh, what the fuck. I don't have my license yet, so you won't see videos of me riding around town until Monday the 24th of September, because that's the day I go to the DMV to get my license. This weekend, 21, 22, and 23 of September, is actually when my motorcycle class is. So for now, my parents agreed to letting me just ride around in the driveway to practice. It's not as fun as I feel that riding around on the street would be, obviously. I don't think anyone can disagree with that, but it's whatever. I've ridden dirt bikes before, so I know what it's like to shift on a motorcycle, so this came pretty easily to me. I have some pretty good control of the bike. I know where the clutch lets out and everything. Shifting is really easy. So yeah, really isn't that hard. I've always wanted a motorcycle, but I couldn't afford one until this year, last year really, which is when I really started working. I had 2 jobs at one point to try and get money, but back then I didn't really have the mindset of wanting a motorcycle. I just bought this actually in August, I believe, from one of my parents' friends. Saw it on Craigslist. Really liked it right when I saw it. I saw that the price was really low. And the price was around how much I had at the point, which was $2,800. So I told my dad, after looking at probably 30 other bikes on Craigslist, that this one appealed to me the most. When I got this, it had 2,600 miles around there, and the guy only wanted $2,800 for it, so there were no problems with it. It was a fucking steal. I knew that right from the start, so that's why I talked to my dad immediately when I saw it. So yeah, 2,600 miles. I put about 60 on it since I've gotten it, just in my driveway. Just practicing, going around in circles and stuff. Stopping at the end of the driveway and reversing. So yeah, really, I thought this bike was a steal, so I went after it first opportunity I had. Funny story, actually, when I discovered it, I emailed the guy on Craigslist, and he ended up calling me back when I was working, so obviously I couldn't pick it up. When I got out of work, I immediately called him and I was like, "Hey, who's this?" And he was like, "Oh, I saw that you emailed me about the bike. You want to come check it out?" And on top of the Craigslist post, there's usually a town. It said my town, so I was like, "Oh, this could be New Hampshire, or it could be Mass." I was really hoping it was New Hampshire, because the town in Mass, where I live in Kingston, if that made any sense, is a good hour and a half away. So I didn't really want to do that, because it's an hour and a half away just to possibly look at a bike, maybe not even buy it. But the guy called me, and I told him my name, and he was like, "Oh, are you blah 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 and blah blah blah's kid?" And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know him?" And he was like, "I own this restaurant." And I was like, "Oh, sweet. So you are in New Hampshire?" And he was like, "Yeah, I live about 3 minutes away from you." So I was like, "Alright, that's awesome." My parents know the guy that has the bike, and we could probably get a pretty sweet deal on it. The guy was asking $3,000 on Craigslist. I did some Kelley Blue Book research. It said this bike in excellent condition is worth $2,300. That seemed pretty low ball, but I gave him $2,800 for it. I was really excited. Did all the paperwork. He had to drive it over because neither my dad or me had our motorcycles yet. Motorcycle licenses, that is. So he had to drive it over. My dad brought him back home, and My dad was skeptical at first on whether or not he should let me ride this in the driveway because he thought I had no experience whatsoever, even though I've ridden dirt bikes for quite some time. So I understand all the shifting, braking, clutch. I can drive a standard car, so it's basically the same thing, just with your hands. If not, I think it's easier on a bike. But he eventually was like, yeah, I'll let you practice around in the driveway just to get the basic skills down so that you're ready for the class, because I don't want you going into the class completely dry and not knowing anything about motorcycles. So I was like, alright, sweet. So for the past 3 weeks or so, I've just been doing this whole route, following my driveway and whatnot, seeing how much power this baby has. It's pretty fun. I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, I'll get out and show you the bike right now. Turn it off. Alright. It's a Suzuki GS500F. My friend told me it's a touring bike, so it's not really meant for 100% speed, but I find it to be pretty fast. It has this little seat patch, but it's barely noticeable unless you actually look at it. It was covered up really well. Still kind of debating on whether or not I should get a new windshield, but I don't know. I like the bike. Looks cool from the front, side, back. $2,659 miles. Red line's at 11,000. Everything works on it. It's pretty fucking awesome. So I feel like I basically stole this bike. I got it for so cheap. It starts right up, but you usually have to use the choke for a good minute. But that's basically the only downside. Sadly, I'm getting my motorcycle license right before fall and winter, so it's going to be really cold out. So I probably won't be riding as much. It's going to kill me just getting my motorcycle license and barely being able to ride it, and then I'll have to wait all the way until spring to ride it again. Just going to do one more roundabout, and then I'll probably be done with this. I have work. Time to park. Put the blah 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 blah.